So it's harvest time on our accidental oyster mushrooms. They're down here. And first of all, let me introduce you to my glamorous assistant. Now, Lidl don't sponsor her, but they might. Here they are. These are all from our log shed. And they're all growing oyster mushrooms. So we put them out here. So we've now got a oyster mushroom farm. And my glamorous assistant will harvest them. So there you go, a typical oyster mushroom, or as the French call them, pleurots.
And we're going to put it in a soup, a special soup, Chinese one.
Now whether cutting or tearing is better, we don't know, but we thought we'd cut just in case it was less, disturbing to the roots. Well, the wind is whistling. I hope you can't hear it, but it's whistling. And I got to find here, it's a button and it's smashed to bits. I might have done it, but I think it's probably very fragile. It's the first for me. I've never done that with the button, or never found a button like this before. So 10 years, one button down. So there it is, and that's whatever it is. And I'll clean it up and see if there's anything more interesting, because it looks like it's got a pattern on it. Hour and a bit, found nothing. At last I'm up to where I thought the stuff would be, but you just can't concentrate on that and forget the whole other field. But anyway, where I think the stuff should be, and I got my first find. Here it is. And it's a good old spindle whorl. I thought it was going to be a lead seal, but as you can imagine, that's a banging signal. So it's a big one. Yep, a spindle whorl. Well, this is a thing. I don't know what sort of thing it is, but you might. If you know, post below. See, that's too regular to not be a thing. I mean, is it a Roman tessera? I don't know. It's a bit big for that, I would have thought. But it's, definitely something that's been worked into a sort of square tiley thing. Smooth side, bubbly side, square side. Anyway, that's going in the pocket. I'll clean it up and see whether it's got numbers on it or something clever. Well, it's a good job it's not a cold wind, because it's blowing hard enough. Anyway, after about 2 hours, I got my first coin. Have a look. So there it is. I know I'm kind of greedy. I know you guys out in the States spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours just to find, the odd occasional find. And here I get, disappointed when I don't find a coin every 20 minutes. And not just a modern coin, but an ancient one. So I'm spoiled. But anyway, getting some exercise. And another coin. Well, not another coin, the first coin. So I'm coming along the side of the road, and I don't like it because it's full of garbage and tin, and if you've got to dig it all, you've got to dig it all. You're digging a lot of awful rubbish. But anyway, another find. Not much of a find, but I'm glad I've got it anyway. Bit of spoonage. Here it is. So that's the top of a pewter spoon. Has been chopped by the plough, no doubt, because pewter gets pretty brittle as it gets old, or certainly when it's in the ground, and it sort of all goes flaky and crumbly, and that will just be the top of a pewter spoon. A mighty lumpo of junco, although it's probably copper. A nice bit of exercise, I don't know, 2.5 hours. Really nothing, one coin. I check this field every year, and most fields you go on, there's pretty much nothing there, or there'll be a small pocket, and after you've done them a few times, that's it, it's empty. Oh no, field's never done. Well, anyway, but sometimes you go on a field, there's nothing on it, like this one here, and you go on it a few more times, you think, I can't believe there's nothing here. And you come back and you find a couple of things. And you go, oh, there's something here. And then next year you come back, give it a little go, nothing. Then suddenly, you've got some great finds. And where Nugget found that Dupondus of Augustus, I've been on that field many, many times. This is so big, you know, you want to try everywhere before you give up on it. And I never found anything at all, really. And then we go on there with Nugget, and Nugget gets a beautiful Roman, and I get some beautiful stone tools. So you've got to persist, for sure. You have got to persist. But I persisted with this particular field, and as yet nothing has come up. But it's perfect metal detecting in terms of it's flat as a pancake, the soil is soft as butter, and you know there's no wobbling about and lumpy bumpy bits. It's like detecting on your own carpet, and that's really, really nice. The only trouble is there's nothing there. But maybe next time we will see. First of all, Happy New Year. Anyway, I've been going through a lean patch like I do from now and again, and I'm back on a field where I found that lovely Roma denarius, and came on here with Nugget in the summer, and you know we didn't find much really, didn't find any crazy Romans or anything. But I'm back here because it's been so wet. I should get some really good depths. I've got the Deus 2. Hopefully it will bring something up from the depths. And I've got a little thing here, which is a really poor signal, and it's a tiny little mite of a thing, but it might be an artifact. Have a look. So there it is. You can see there's markings on it. It's looking pretty old to me. But anyway, it's bashed up. But maybe some more of these little mites hanging around. That'd be a bit more interesting. But anyway, that's old. Now on the Deus XP, anything in the 60s zone tends to be lead. So for a big coin, copper, you're looking at 90s, top 80s, 90s, sometimes mid-90s. So anything down in the 60s, like you go, oh, no trash, you know, 4, that sort of thing. But you've got to dig it all, you've got to dig it all. And when you do dig it all, occasionally, very occasionally, you get an excited face. This is my excited face. Oh, yes, yes, yes. And we're kind of by the car, but that's not by accident, because this is where I parked, right by what might be a Roman spot. Oh, yes. And this is where I was with Nugget. We needed to find one. Anyway, it's in here. Have a look. I'm going to stop getting on, and you can have a look see. And I think this is a small Roman coin, but I could be wrong. See, last time I did this, I forgot to switch the blooming thing on, and I missed the find, that silver ring. But anyway, that I believe is a Roman coin, a very small one. Yeah, it certainly looks like one. And we'll find out later when I clean it up. Well, it's been many hours since I've had a good find, so boom! I've broken the fast. Been a long time since I got the Roman coin, and I searched around that area intensively, nothing at all. Some iron, dodgy iron signals, but I didn't even bother digging them because they were so obviously not what I wanted. But anyway, finally got another find. It's a round ball. So probably a rifle ball, not for shooting, bore, but for something a bit smaller maybe. Mind you, that'd make a mess of a bore for sure. Pistol ball maybe, I don't know, maybe a bit too big. Who knows, who knows. But anyway, over here, there's a pile of poo. And the pile of poo is good news and bad news. The good news is when you see a pile of poo, you know the field's not seeded, so you can get on there if you've got permission for the field. If there's no pile of poo and it looks like it might be harrowed, it might have been planted, so you kind of stay away. The bad news is it's come out of a cow shed, and all the moo tubes, as West Country Club would call them, and all the tin foil off bits and bobs and all that stuff that goes into the cow poo and never comes out ends up in the field. So under that there'll be, I don't know, 30 or 40 pieces of foil that's going into this field that I'm going to find next year. Anyway, that's the story of the pile of poo. Now I'm always on the lookout for these, and this might not be one, but you see what I mean when I show it to you. You see, is that a Roman tesserae, i.e. a bit of mosaic? I don't know, because I haven't actually studied one right up close, but it's suspiciously square and of the right size. So I'm going to put that in my pocket. And I'm on the lookout for these, because obviously if there's a mosaic around here somewhere, there's going to be some coins, isn't there? But, you know, you're just looking. This is just an anonymous field. The fact it's had a few Romans in it doesn't mean there's ever had a building here. but you live in hope. This is my excited face, but not for a good reason. I went over there and I nearly got trapped in the mud. Very, very nearly. Now, I didn't, but mainly because I used my coil as a third leg and my spade as a fourth. I managed to get the leg that was very, very, very nearly trapped out without trapping the other one in the process. Because what happens, you pull one out, the other one goes in, you pull that one out, the other one goes in. So you've got to kind of get back, and you've got to be lighter, basically, lighter than the person that went in. And the only way to do that is to have support. Now, one way to do it, if you really get stuck and someone to help, is get a big piece of cardboard, I mean, you know, like 4 foot by 4 foot, and use that as a base to get out on. But anyway, when you're on your own, you haven't got any 4 foot by 4 foot bit of cardboard with you. But anyway, I didn't get stuck, but it was very, very close. Well, that's not quicksand. I mean, I wouldn't have gone up to my neck or anything, but I would have had to call out the wife to rescue me, as I had to do once many years ago. But anyway, and as I'm picking my way back, because, you know, it's a horrible thing getting stuck in the mud. So I'm picking my way back now because I'm quite tired. And I got a signal, and it's on the cusp of diggable, because when I try to dig it, I start sinking into the mud. And it's a really, really strong signal. Anyway, I got it out, and here it is in my hand, and it's the good old spindle whirl. It's about the best signal I've had all day. Obviously, the Roman coin is the good find, and this is a nice find too. So there should be a house around here somewhere, I'm guessing, because they would have been sowing outside when they dropped this. But anyway, it's a bit of a quagmire around here, so I'm not going to hang about. Oh yes, this is my excited face. And I nearly picked it up, I nearly cleaned it, and I thought, no, don't do that. Show it to them live, show it to them as I see it. Anyway, this thing was about, oh, I don't know, 9 inches, 10 inches down. And it was a beautiful little signal, eep, eep, tiny, tiny little eep, eep. That's a really beautiful signal. Oh, it could be silver. It could be. And guess what? It is. Have a look at this coin. Oh yes, first of all, I'll show you the hole. Just making sure I'm recording this time. Now, right at the bottom of that. So that's a good 9 inches, 10 inches. And this is what came out. Now that, I don't know yet, but it's looking like Napoleon III, and it will be a 1 franc, I should think. Never found a 1 franc, I don't think. Anyway, let's get it. So there is the coin. And yes, that is the old man himself, Napoleon III. Oh, it's in quite good nick too. Yeah, it's going to be a 1 franc, I believe. Let's have a look. Don't rub the coin. Well, unlikely to be numismatic quality, and unlikely to be a valuable one even if it was. But anyway, for me, that's marvellous. I can see a date there. I can't see what it is, but I can see the date. Anyway, that is totally awesome. And I just recorded the bit about nearly getting stuck in the mud. And then the next swing, here we are. A beautiful 1 franc of Napoleon III. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Something like that. Now, while I've got it out, the DJI Pocket 2 Creator Edition is my go-to camera because it's so light, it boots real quick, and it produces fantastic results. And, you know, Steadicam, wait, I'm falling over here. Look, so you saw that. Perfectly smooth, me falling over the camera in my hand. You know, that stabilisation, he said falling over again, you see, it's the excitement of finding that silver coin. The stabilisation makes a huge amount of difference, and this is 4K too, and it's basically no bigger than a stick of gum. It's absolutely a fantastic machine, and I've got a link below if you want to go and buy it on Amazon for your own creativity. There it is, the link below, and I'll get a few groats if you buy it through that link. Oh yes, always after the cash. So I'm going to fight my way back between the solid places and the bits I might get stuck in and see if we can find anything on the way back. Probably not. I mean, after all, Roman coin and a silver franc, what more can a man ask for? You know, sometimes, you know, you think you're imagining things, but I think what I've got here is a Neolithic polished axe head. What's left of one. It's been shattered a bit, but have a look. If I turn it over, you'll see why. See, that face there looks like it's been polished, and it's been smashed. And if you go round the other side, you'll also see that polish there as well. And later on, in the last parts of the Stone Age, or whatever you want to call it, they polished up their axes on the faces. You see, that's the cutting edge there, and it's actually sharp. And when I see that highly polished surface, it's unnaturally smooth. And you see it more and better there. You see, that has been polished, I think, and that makes that a part of a axe head. And it's been clonked by the plough and shattered, and maybe it was just shattered doing its job. But that, you can actually see it's striated as well. So yeah, without a doubt, well, in my mind anyway, that is part of a Neolithic axe head. And that's then been smashed up in the field or in action even. It's just so smooth, that, so polished. You can see that in the sun, so that's quite exciting. That's going in the pocket, oh dear, or actually in the bag, but the same thing really. In the Stone Age, the late Stone Age, they polished their axes and their tools because it stopped them from shattering, lowered the friction so they could cut better. So you take your axe, you'd polish it with a piece of sandstone that axe head would cut better and would also not shatter. Stone tools are made from stones which are quite crystalline, and if you hit them, the effect of that blow is the same in any direction. And stones are quite often fragile. If you've got a little knobbly bobbly bit and you hit a tree with it, that can shatter that piece out of the axe head. Obviously that would break your axe head pretty quickly. You polish the stone so that the blow energy is spread throughout the axe head a lot more evenly, and therefore it's much less likely to shatter. It will also cut better because there's less friction when you actually strike that tree. So that was an exciting hunt in more than one ways. Roman coin, silver coin. What else? Axe head, Neolithic axe head, I think. And nearly got stuck in the mud permanently. Yeah, oh, that was so close. That really was a little bit terrifying. But anyway, I got the phone with me, so I could always call up for help. But anyway, it's no fun. So, right sort of excitement, wrong sort of excitement. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and like. And please share too. And please rattle the cages of the internet to get people to come and see my stuff, because that would be really good. Anyway, thanks just for coming to watch. Happy New Year, and have a prosperous and wonderful one. And a fun one too. Nanny Poos, Fluffy Poos, and fish head soup.